The world of Formula One has been shaken again by surprising news from the Ferrari garage. A crazy idea from Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion, has just been leaked to the public and immediately sparked controversy. Not only that, but his teammate Charles Leclerc has also sharply criticized Ferrari's internal conditions, saying they are increasingly sad. What exactly is Hamilton's plan, and why did Leclerc lose patience with Ferrari? Let's discuss it. Amidst the passionate tifosi filling the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari for the 2025 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, two different sides of Ferrari were on display, one filled with hope and a vision of a breakthrough future from Hamilton, and the other filled with deep frustration from Leclerc, who could no longer hide his disappointment. Hamilton's smile and Leclerc's sharp gaze in the Ferrari paddock illustrate the contrasting mentalities of the two racers with one mission but different paths to achieve it. Behind the scenes, a leak from the Ferrari garage is making the rounds. Hamilton has a crazy idea that he believes could turn Ferrari around. While many would dismiss Lewis Hamilton as just an icon, the 40-year-old has proven himself to be a leader and a thinker. After a disappointing Saturday at Imola, where he qualified 12th, Hamilton turned the page on the team's technical philosophy. "I've got a few ideas that I'm going to try this week," Hamilton said. "But there's some hesitation from people on the team. Maybe because we've got a lot on our minds. Still, I'm confident we can improve our performance." According to inside sources, the idea in question relates to the chassis balance and weight distribution of the car during qualifying, an area that has been a weak point for the Ferrari SF25. Hamilton has reportedly been in direct discussions with some of Ferrari's senior engineers, suggesting an approach that hasn't been tested in simulations. This is not unusual for Hamilton. Throughout his career, the British driver has been known for taking technical risks, and his decisions have often changed the fate of a car for the entire season. Sunday was one of Lewis Hamilton's most impressive performances of the season. Despite qualifying outside the top 10, the seven-time world champion made a comeback and proved his talent. Not only did he manage to overtake 8 drivers and finish 4th, he also displayed sharp racing instincts, a keen understanding of the track, and the ability to flawlessly execute team strategy. Hamilton started the race cautiously but confidently, slowly making his way through the pack and climbing to 5th place before the crucial pit stop on lap 46. The race's neutralization due to a technical problem affecting Mercedes' Junior Kimi Antonelli's car presented a golden opportunity. Hamilton and his team did not waste it. Once the race restarted, Hamilton immediately accelerated. He posted impressive lap times, showing his dominance by overtaking George Russell, beating Alex Albon, and finally passing Charles Leclerc with a brilliant, clean maneuver. With that performance, he secured 4th place, finishing just 1.4 seconds behind Oscar Piastri on the podium. "The strategy was perfect," Hamilton told his team over the radio. "The car setup was great. I felt really connected to the car, just like in the Chinese Grand Prix. That synergy is starting to come back." This race was about more than just speed, it was also about cunning and leadership on the track. Hamilton once again showed why he deserves to be called the racing general. But the atmosphere was much more tense on the other side of the Ferrari garage. Charles Leclerc, the enthusiastic son of Monaco, was now drowning in suppressed anger. His face was gloomy, his tone was sharp, and his comments seemed to cut through the air of the Imola paddock. For Leclerc, this qualifying session was more than just a failure. It was a bitter reflection of Ferrari's faltering season once again. For the first time in a while, Leclerc couldn't hide his frustration from the Italian fans who have always supported him. "As I said before, this is one of those races where you have to give it your all and push yourself to the limit," said Leclerc bitterly. "But when you start 11th on home soil, honestly, as a driver, I can't accept that. I'm tired of constantly salvaging results from positions I don't deserve." The high hopes he had carried all weekend, to bring joy to the tifosi in the stands at the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, were shattered on race day. Not only did Leclerc lose his rhythm, but he was also involved in a series of incidents that added to his frustration. One of the most tense moments came on the opening lap when he forced Pierre Gasly off the track in a fierce duel that showed just how much pressure he was under. In the closing stages of the race, he engaged in a close battle with Alex Albon. Ferrari even asked him to give up the position after his defensive maneuver became the subject of a steward's investigation. "I knew it was over the limit," said Leclerc, his eyes sharp but tired. "But I don't regret anything. This is racing. It's about fighting and emotions. I gave it my all today. The problem is that I always have to push myself to the limit because we never start from a good position. It's exhausting, mentally and physically. This emotional outburst wasn't just about one race. It was a release of frustration that had built up over weeks, maybe even months. It was a rallying cry from a driver who felt his potential was being buried amidst team uncertainty. He was a fighter who was starting to lose his cool. With only one Grand Prix podium, Charles Leclerc's in Saudi Arabia, and Lewis Hamilton's sprint victory in Shanghai, Ferrari is now in 4th place in the constructor standings. The prancing horse is 165 points behind McLaren, the current leader, showing the widening performance gap at the top of Formula One this season. The SF25 car revealed significant weaknesses in several areas. In terms of single-lap performance, the car appeared unstable and challenging to control at its best. The team had difficulty getting the most out of the tires at the ideal temperature during qualifying, which cost the drivers crucial positions on the starting grid. Furthermore, the SF25 often failed to respond to the challenge of explosive speed needed for overtaking or defending. This situation has heated up the atmosphere at Ferrari's headquarters in Maranello again. Charles Leclerc has begun openly voicing his disappointment, questioning the technical and strategic direction of the team. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton, who joined this season, has tried to be a catalyst for change, bringing new enthusiasm from within. However, despite these individual efforts, Ferrari as a whole seems to have yet to find its winning rhythm. The dream of winning the title again feels increasingly out of reach. Now, the legendary Monte Carlo circuit awaits. Monaco has always been a tough test for cars that struggle in slow corners, and unfortunately, that is the SF25's main weakness. Hamilton is honest about his concerns. Our car is good at high speeds and okay in the middle corners, but not so good in the slow corners. Monaco is a slow track, so we have to be careful. I don't know what it's like to drive a Ferrari there. For Leclerc, Monaco is more than just a home race. It is an opportunity to restore his pride. However, if Ferrari underperforms again, Leclerc, whose contract expires in 2026, may start considering his future outside the Scuderia. Imola should have been a moment of revival. Instead, it opened a new chapter of tension, doubt, and potential division within the team. Ferrari is now at a crossroads, torn between a vision of the future and the pressures of the present. Lewis Hamilton brings 7 world titles, an innovative vision, and a strong belief in the need for major changes to restore Ferrari's glory. Conversely, Charles Leclerc, the Prince of Monaco, brings emotion, the passion of the Tifosi, and a great ambition to win in front of his home crowd. These two powerful figures, if not balanced, have the potential to cancel each other out. Signs of frustration are starting to emerge. Leclerc, once a symbol of Ferrari's future, is beginning to falter. Hamilton, on the other hand, needs clear structure and support to make his vision work. If Ferrari fails to bridge this gap, they could lose both their present and future. Monaco will be a crucial test. It will be a decisive turning point. Will Ferrari change, or will they become a legend of the past? Write your thoughts below.